Ben Ainsworth and Nikki Ainsworth. They're the parents of one of the players who's been with us on the programme for a couple of years now, Charlotte Ainsworth. How are you, Nikki? How are you, Ben?
Hey, good, Ray. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Very good. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining us. Now, we wanted to bring you on just to talk a little bit about, from a parent's perspective, when you've got a son or daughter who's on the professional player pathway. But before we get into the interview, guys, we just want to talk about a little bit how this probably never nearly came about, because originally, Ben, when I first got introduced to you and Charlotte, you actually couldn't join us on the programme. Well, you thought you couldn't join us because you were actually due to head back to the UK this year. You were telling us a couple of years ago you were planning on coming back for work and personal reasons, for family reasons. But obviously, when I had a chat with you and explained that this is a remotely based programme, it doesn't matter where you are, where you live, you can be on the programme. It did take me a couple of months to convince you of that, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, because this has been sort of like a 3-year sort of journey for us. We're always wanting to go back to the UK to reconnect with family and that, but we just weren't sure when we met you how the program would work and how it would benefit Charlotte, knowing that we were going back to the UK and that your program was sort of set up in Australia, so we weren't sure how it was going to work. So
because
it's been one of the.
Oh, sorry, Ray. As you know, I am British and the kids are British, so we've wanted them to reconnect with my side of the family over there. So it's kind of been a 2-3-year plan, and then you came into our world and obviously know Charlotte and her football and wanted to help us with that. And so being able to do the plan here and then take that with us is just going to be amazing to do that remotely. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the things I felt like banging Ben's head against the wall sometimes, because it was like, your wife's British, your kids are British, they've got passports, and I know you're going back for family reasons, and I know you're looking to go back for work, but trust me, this programme works no matter where you are on the planet, so I'm so happy you did eventually join us on the programme. Now, from a mum and dad's perspective, I'll probably ask this one to Nikki first. Being the mum, how have you found it's helped Charlotte over the past couple of years with the football? What's the one big thing for you?
Yeah, I think more so much not only her school factor side of things and, with having the GPS tracking and honing in on the statistic side of football, they celebrate more on the football side of things. But for me, her mental game has improved a lot and having, that not only the resilience, but seeing where she can achieve with other academies in England as well, because all the statistics are on there with her GPS tracking. So you can do well here. I know you do well, but to see all the stats and compare and gauge where you're at is good. And also just the experience that you give her, that 1% to 5% of extra, information or experience that you've had that teach her other things on the field to help improve her game has just been fantastic as well. But we'll go more into the football. That's just, for me, I think her mental game has improved a lot, and having all those stats to go along with it and compare to not only people in Australia, but like you said, academies in England all around the world, and just gauge where you're at. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you for that. It's such good to have that sort of different point of opinion, because I know mums and dads and families don't always think the same, and it's good that you've got those different opinions, and it's good that, it's evident to us when we first discovered Charlotte how well-rounded she is, and I think it's thanks and it's a testament, because I know, having 2 daughters as well, there's a lot of hard work that goes into these kids, and we dote on them, and we just want to give them an opportunity. And I just want to say on camera as well, how super proud I am of you guys as well, because I know what you two have gone through over the past couple of years, and more so Ben as well. The stuff that you go to on a daily basis, just trying to support your kids in a dream, and it's a testament to you, Nikki and Ben, and I'm so proud of what you have done with it.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Ben, so what's your opinion? What's the one big thing that you've seen? And I know, Ben, you're not just a parent, but I know you're also a coach as well. What's been the one big thing for you, for maybe any other parents who are considering joining a pro player pathway? What's the one key thing that you've seen that's benefited?
Well, touching on what Nikki said, the GPS tracking's been really good. Just to see, I suppose the comparison overseas is the main thing, but she obviously loves wearing the GPS tracker, and she gets a lot of joy out of seeing how she goes from session to session, especially in games. That's obviously tracking distances, how many Ks she runs in a game, and then she's able to say to me, "Oh, Dad, look, I ran X amount of Ks this in this match," and then you just see the improvement. But it's got her in a better mindset too on how to look at the game. Like before we were on your program, obviously we're playing for a club, and they don't go to the meticulous detail that you do. Things like healthy eating, looking after your body, recovery after you've done a heavy session, making sure that we're even doing recovery, running type work so she's able to get the miles in her legs, but also able to recover those muscles after having a tough session or a long game. It's just the meticulous detail that go within the program. Like you've talked to us about the 7 pillars that you have, and obviously match analysis is one of those things in that program as well, which I've found really helpful, because as a coach I can look at it from the other side of the fence as well as a parent, and you can sort of look at where her game is going, which is going in a really good direction. But there's things that I picked up in those match analyses that I didn't really think of, but when I go looking back at footage, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And like some of them sort of semi-major things, and then other things are just like little things we just need to change and tinker, tweak. And it just made a huge difference to our overall performance. So
that's amazing. It's so good to have those two different perspectives from both you and Nikki. Now, Nikki, just because a lot of people will be interested in this, but obviously when I did speak to Ben, when I first met Ben a couple of years ago, and he explained that he didn't want to join the program because you had planned to go back for family reasons back home, because you're originally from the UK and you were looking at potentially going back for work. But can you tell all of our listeners and followers where originally you are from in the UK?
So I'm from Birkenhead. So anyone that doesn't know where that is, Liverpool, Mersey River, Birkenhead.
So I was like super secretly excited when I found that out when I first met you, and obviously I first met Charlotte and I seen her running around in an Everton jersey, and I'm like, no.
That was from my uncle. My uncle said that, the one Evertonian in the family.
Because obviously we do have a lot of good contacts in the game in the UK, but also around Europe as well. But I was super pleased to discover that when I found out from Ben many years ago that the plan was 2024 to head back to the UK, but also to be in and around the Liverpool area. It made me feel super excited, thinking that maybe one day we could help you open up an opportunity, whether it was at Tranmere Rovers or Everton or Liverpool. So it really, really pleased me. Now, Ben, obviously you are Australian, and obviously you're going back to be with your wife who's from the UK, and the kids have got British passports. Are you excited to go and live in the UK?
Yeah, I am. I'm really excited. It's going to be a great journey for our family. Just a new experience. Obviously, I've met a few of Nikki's family, but I'll be able to meet all of them. It's just going to be a great experience. And I've been a football supporter, fan, player.
Before you met me.
Before I met Nikki, and obviously the home of football. It's going to be good to immerse myself, go to a few games, and obviously just get to know Nikki's heritage really, and the kids are really excited about it as well. So.
Now, I know this growing up in Liverpool where it's football crazy. Nikki knows it because she's from there as well. And I think you get it as well, Ben. But this is one of the tricky ones that it can be quite controversial sometimes. But I say to a lot of families that, like, if you really aspire for your son or daughter to make it as a football player, there comes a point in time where, for me, you've got to move to Europe, because if I had a son or daughter who was playing rugby league and you were to ask me where's the best place for them to live and play, I would say Australia, 100%, without a doubt. But if you're playing football, for me, whether you've got a son or daughter, I would definitely say you need them to be in Europe, in Spain, in England. We're just very, very fortunate. I think you guys feel privileged and lucky, Ben, the fact that you're already planning to head back for family reasons and for work, that Charlotte now actually gets to finish her little last bit of development playing and training in England. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, we are. We are. She loves playing football, and we just want what's best for her. And I just think the development that she'll get in a country that lives and breathes and immerses themselves in football, it would just benefit her. Immensely. Yeah.
What's one of the things, Nikki, just to finish off, we've got a few minutes to go, but what's one of the things that you're looking forward to for Charlotte in her developments in her football in England, whether she goes on and plays for Liverpool, Everton, whoever she goes on and plays for when she's older? What's the one big thing that you wish for her?
Oh, look, and purely speaking from a mother's perspective, because I'm not as football mad as you lot are, but I think for me, just to, she always gives 100%, if not more, in all that she does. And just for her to be happy and do what she loves and, give it a red hot crack. And yeah, I think she'll succeed in anything that she does because she's always had a good head on her shoulders and she works hard. And I think if she makes it, fantastic. If she doesn't, I think she's still going to be around in football in some capacity because she lives and breathes it and it's her passion. Yeah.
I've told her 100% if she doesn't make it as a pro footballer when she's older, she's got a job with me at Euro Football Star.
That's for sure.
So Ben, as a dad, who I know I do it as well, we dote on our daughters and we'll do anything for them. What's the one thing that you really wish for Charlotte in the next couple of years?
I suppose coming over to England, I think some of the differences between the English game and the Australian game is like physicality. I think the thing I'd like to see in her is obviously work out how to combat that and just work really hard because but she's got a great base, but I just think being in such a great environment in the UK, I just think she's going to go from strength to strength with playing against good players, whatever league she plays in, and also just the coaching I think is going to be first class, and I just think it's going to take her game to the next level, whichever level she plays at,
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think I shared this with you guys on the phone a couple of years ago when I went back to the UK, and I hadn't seen the girls and the women's game in England for probably 5 or 6 years because of COVID and everything that went on. And for someone who coached in the WSL, and I coached Leicester City's women's team for the season going back over 10 years ago, to see the level it's at now, I've just been blown away. I just cannot believe where the girls and the women's game's gone. And I'm so excited for Charlotte to be lucky the fact that, one, she is British and she's got a passport, she's going back for family reasons, and you guys are in a fortunate position to be able to do that. But also for it to be able to go and live and breathe and just to finish off that development. And wherever Charlotte ends up, I'm convinced she's going to be a success in football. I think she's going to be a success as a player. And I think, to be honest, I think Charlotte's got a bigger picture than this. I think she's going to do something even bigger than playing when she's older. And if I've got it my way, she'll be heavily involved with us, helping us promote the women's game and the girls' game and making people realise that anything's possible with hard work.
Absolutely. She's a pretty special kid, even off the football pitch.
She is. I've been very, very fortunate to work closely with you guys and to see the effort that you guys put in. And I'm very blessed myself with my girls, and, just seeing Charlotte and her effort levels she puts in, and just seeing her videos on a daily basis, and everything I've asked her to do, she's gone above and beyond. And I just feel privileged to be involved in a small percent of helping her to hopefully achieve that dream in the next couple of years. And yeah, it's going to be super exciting. So before I let you go, guys, because I know it's Saturday night and you're probably going to be heading out, can I get a prediction from you for the Real Madrid versus Borussia Dortmund game? So Nikki, can I get a score prediction?
You're asking me.
Yes.
I'll go
So Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
What score do you think it's going to be?
Against who? Who's the
Borussia
game?
Dortmund.
2-1. Real Madrid.
2-1 to Real Madrid. Ben, you'll give me your analytical conscious view. What's the score?
It's going to be 3-1 to Real Madrid. And I think Bellingham will score the first goal.
Bellingham first goal, Real Madrid 3, Borussia Dortmund 1. I think one of you are going to be right. That's my prediction, 2-1 or 3-1. So look, guys, obviously I know I'll see lots of you because we get back to the UK 3 or 4 times a year. We're closely going to follow Charlotte because she's still on the pro player pathway until she's at least 16. She's on a scholarship with us. We hope to keep her on longer than that, but hopefully she doesn't need us past that. But look, a big thank you. It's been amazing having you guys on from a mum and dad's perspective, not only to the benefits of the pro player pathway, but some of the things that you have gone through over the past couple of years. And a big thank you from me and everyone at Euro Football Star for being part of this programme as well.
Oh, thanks, Ray. And as always, we appreciate your support of Charlotte and development too. Really appreciate it.
Thanks,
guys. That's me over and out from the Raymond's World podcast. A big thank you for joining us on this mini episode, and a big thank you to Nikki and Ben. And we'll be in touch on our next episode in the next couple of weeks. Hi everyone, it's Raymond Wood from the Raymond Wood podcast. I am super excited to bring one of our players all the way beaming back live from Brisbane in Australia. I'm currently in London, in Wembley, ready for the Champions League final Saturday the 1st of June. And I believe we've got Maya Allsop on the line. Hey Maya, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Now for our listeners who are watching on in, can you just tell everyone your age, where you are from, and the position that you play?
Hi, I'm Maya Allsop. I'm currently 14 years old. Will be turning 15 in July. And I'm living in Logan currently, and I play 6th position.
Very good. Now, you've been involved in football since what age? What age did you start playing, Maya?
I started playing at 9.5. with my dad as my coach, so don't really know if that counts, but...
That's good. And you were from Yeppoon, which is up in central Queensland by Rockhampton originally, and you played community-based football. Now, just to explain the reason why we've got you on our podcast and why we're doing this mini episode is just to show with a little bit of hard work and consistency on how anyone can make it as a football player if they follow our pathway. Now, we obviously met your mum through Gary Skinner, who was one of your coaches. And I'll just get it on record. Unfortunately, Gary Skinner is a Chelsea fan. So he's not a Liverpool fan like me and Maya. Just to remind Gary Skinner of that one. Now, you obviously, I worked with Gary Skinner up in central Queensland many years ago. And I was introduced to your mum and to yourself through Gary, and he said he was a player up in central Queensland that had a little bit of potential, but needed some help with a football. Now, we actually got you onto our professional player pathway just under 12 months ago. So for everyone who's listening in, can you just tell us a little bit about how you found the programme and what's been some of the best parts so far?
So I was training with Gary and he told me about you, and I was so excited and I was so thankful that I was part of the program. It's just so amazing. It's helped me immensely. Like, my training's gone from only 2 training sessions a week to up to 14, 15 hours, which is amazing. And then I've gotten this opportunity to move to Brisbane from Yeppoon and play at such a high level. And it's just helped me improve so much. The portal, it's so great. It shows me what objectives I need to work on before my games and stuff like that. It's just amazing overall.
So from your opinion, Maya, this is a program that you believe anyone can work from anywhere on the planet? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now, for our listeners and people watching this podcast and tuning in, we've got a remotely based program called the Professional Player Pathway. And on the Professional Player Pathway, players from the ages of about 8 and 9 all the way through to 23 years of age can join us. We've got 7 pillars to the program. The reason why the program was created and designed was by me. I've worked in the game of football for over 25 years. I've worked for some of the biggest teams like Liverpool, Leicester City, Paris Saint-Germain, I used to work for some of the biggest coaches in the game. I used to work for Carlo Ancelotti, who's now the Real Madrid coach, when I was in France. Also, we've been heavily involved in the World Game and developing players all around the planet. Now, one of the big things that we wanted to make sure people were aware of as well is that this program can be done from anywhere in the world. Everything is done remotely based. And just to prove the proof's in the pudding, so we discovered you, Maya, in sunny central Queensland where it's very hot and sticky. You were playing community-based football, and you've since gone down to Brisbane. You are now pretty much playing at the highest level that you can play in Brisbane. That's correct, isn't it? And you're currently playing with Logan?
Yes, and amazing.
In the NPL. And then one of the things that we do and offer as one of the pillars on the program is once you've hit a certain benchmark of objectives and you have been completing your objectives to make it and show to us that you're at a standard good enough to go for a trial to the UK and Europe. Have you, can you explain a little bit about what's happening with you next year and where you're going?
So next year I'm going to be going over and I'm going to be trialing or just visiting, see everything in the UK. It's going to be amazing and got to put in the training and the effort.
Amazing. So just for, again, those listeners and people watching this, Maya is going to be going on some trials in January to the UK, but also she's going to be going on trials in June, July as well to France and Spain. Maya is one of our more successful players who's really getting through the program and getting through the objectives. And once you get to a certain benchmark, we then open up opportunities for players. One of the big things that we don't do is just open up opportunities for players just because players tell us they're good enough or because the mum and dad tell us they're good enough. It gives us an indication of where they're at and how good they are. We can actually ascertain the level that players are at. And then once we see certain benchmarks are met on the 7 pillars of the program, we can then open up the trials. So I want to ask you, Maya, the UK in January, where it's like middle of summer and it's freezing cold here at the moment, or going to Spain and France in June, July, is there a particular country you're really looking forward to go on trial?
I can't take it. Oh, that's hard. Well, I've always wanted to go to the UK and stuff like that. Liverpool is a dream of mine, and although PSG was my favourite team, I think Liverpool's overcome that, and it's definitely going to be the UK trip.
That's amazing. So hopefully, once you get your across on the trials next year, we can open up 1 or 2 opportunities for you, and then by the time you're 16 years of age, the plan is to be playing professional football in Europe. Is that the dream?
Definitely, yeah.
And I'm sure Mum's going to want to go with you and live overseas in Europe as well, isn't she?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, before we let you go and we finish off, May, we've got a couple of minutes to go, but just for our listeners listening in, and especially for any young girls watching, do you recommend this program to players who are watching this?
Yeah, of course. It's just amazing help. Without it, I definitely wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to go overseas and do, like, complete my dreams and do stuff like that. So, yeah, it's definitely a good thing to get on.
That's amazing. And are you going to be okay with your mum following you all around Europe, following your career?
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without it either, so.
Oh, that's amazing. So a big thank you, May, for joining us for this mini podcast. We wish you well. Obviously, we're going to be monitoring your journey. And for those guys who are watching and listening in as well, once a player makes it and they get an opportunity into the UK and Europe and they're with a pro club or on a scholarship opportunity, the journey's not over on the pro player pathway. You're on the program for a minimum of 4 years. We do have bumps sometimes in the road. We have obstacles we have to get over. We have had players who are on the program have been released from clubs, and part of this pro player pathway is to open up more opportunities. So if things don't always go to plan, we can assist and help. So we wish you well, Mayor. We're super excited. We're so happy to have you on the program, and we look forward to watching your football career develop over the next couple of years.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, Maya, before you go, I'm going to ask you one more question. Big game tonight. Real Madrid versus Borussia Dortmund. Can you give me a score prediction? And also, can you even tell me who you think the first goal scorer might be?
So I'm a big Real Madrid fan, so I'm going to say a 2-1 win for us. And I think Jude Bellingham's going to score the first goal.
Okay, so you heard it here first, guys. Jude Bellingham, first goal. Real Madrid 2, Borussia Dortmund 1. And I think that's going to make a lot of Real Madrid fans happy if that's the case.
Definitely.
So a big thank you, Maya. Stay safe, keep well, say hello to mum and dad, and we'll be in touch over the coming weeks.